Morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaka Yamada. Today being Monday, the 13th of December or the 10th of November in the 9th year of Chongyil Cook. Let's begin by offering a bow to our Heavenly Parent and True Parents, Chariot, Kyombe, Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가전맨세 1. 전국 주인 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이사인 지산 천국과 천산 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 1. Our family, the owner of Chongyil Group, pledges to seek our original homeland and build the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven, the original ideal of creation, by centering on true love. Thank you. I'd like to ask Barbara, is Barbara there with Jacinta?
Our beloved Heavenly Parent, Parent of truth and mankind. So grateful to be here this morning, Heavenly Parent, with my brothers and sisters from Oceania, the most wonderful part in the world, Heavenly Parent. We hope that it brings you delight with its beautiful sparkling waters, with the great Pacifica, and the beautiful hearted people in all the islands around the Pacific, Heavenly Parent, that we're so much a part of. And we're so grateful for that. We're so grateful for our Heavenly Mother. We're so grateful for our true Mother. And as she really battles hard to bring North and South Korea together, Heavenly Parent, where we support her in every way that we can, in our hearts and in our actions. And as she said, Heavenly Parent, as we move, we sparkle even more with your light. I love you so much, Heavenly Parent, and it feels so ineffective to do the things that I have to do and that we have to do. But with you by our side and in our heart, every moment we can have communion with you, Heavenly Parent, and that's really what counts. Ask this in True Parent's name and my name. Blessed Central Family, Aju.
Aju.
Aju. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and let's give a great welcome to Reverend Yutaka as she shares this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining Morning Sundoke. Today is the beginning of the week. Beautiful day. Let's put our sincere devotion and heart to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. So yesterday there are many events. I saw each city or each state or nation was organizing the Christmas service, right? The Sunday service in each place. So really beautiful. Our Sydney side also organized, and also Brisbane, Melbourne, and maybe I hope each nation also celebrating. And even not only ourselves, when we see the society, they are also celebrating the Christmas in December. So they are celebrating as the Christian nation, and they are celebrating even they are not the Christian nation. So Christmas is one of the big event in the world level. So when they celebrate Christmas, what kind of things they are celebrating about Christmas, and how many people of them are really understanding the real heart of Jesus Christ and also circumstances, and how many people are really understanding our Heavenly Parents' heart and to celebrate the day of Christmas and also understanding. Ourselves, we learn, and also we are taught through God's word and through our true parents. What is the Jesus circumstances and that time Jesus heart and also the situation, and also understanding about the God's heart through the history. That's why we are the one who should become the person who comfort God, comfort our Jesus Christ through Christmas. That's why now is the important time. So many people, outside people or many people is celebrating enjoying the day of Christmas, but we really understand well and really give happiness, comfort, and really return our heart to our heavenly parents and our Jesus Christ. So this second PCLC online fellowship, I'm showing every day. So tomorrow we will have the second PCLC online fellowship, the good news of Christmas. So you know John 3:16, this is famous word, right? God sent his only begotten son. So tomorrow we really let's try to invite many our Christian and brothers and sisters, even not Christian, anybody we can invite. So let's invite them and to share the heart of Jesus together. So those moments is really important. We are talking about the Christmas. So let's pray well and understand well and comfort our heart of Jesus. So thank you. So today also we will start the contents. Yesterday as the Sunday, we had the reflection and testimony time period. So how was Brother Robert testimony? So it was really inspiring, right? Really his family is great. His elder sister and even mother and family, they are all spiritual. They are not dreaming. They are seeing the vision together about Jesus and about also the true parents. So really, Brother Robert, the testimony was really inspiring. And even during his mission time, full time witnessing, really dealing with Christian minister, and even he had received the dream, saw the dream about the Father, and even his spiritual body was leaving his body and come back. I'm never experienced like this. I'm not sure. Do you have experience that your spiritual body left and come back? Reverend John, you have experience already. Your spiritual body left from your body?
Yeah.
Maybe later you can share also. So anyway, spiritual things and really the God's existence or God's work is not only concept. Already many of people have an experience about the spirit, about true parents, about really Jesus. That's why how we can experience and share to the people. So if you have experience, you cannot deny the spiritual world already, right? That is really great. So true parents showing and explaining many words, how we can inherit and how we can experience in our daily life. This is also our role and our way. So yesterday, anyway, our brother Robert, your testimony was great, and he determined someday he will restore Solomon and Philippines. I'm sure Robert can do to restore Solomon Island, Philippines, restore Australia and Oceania, and also take the important role, the providence of the world. So please pray and support. And Robert family themselves also. So thank you, Robert, once again. So that was great testimony. So today also I want to share another things. Last time we discussed about the women's female angel. So as Mrs. Marie pointed out, maybe that father's message is maybe kidding or joking. Yeah, I think I agree. The father gave the many kind of point about story. women's angel or some kind of the person who fallen lady will become the wife of archangel or something. But anyway, that time main point was that as the Messiah responsibility, Messiah have to create the women's angel. And we are, as the children, we have to embrace three archangels and to restore them as by love. So this was the actual main point. But this is good opportunity. I want to share one part of one lecture talking about Messiah's mission. So this is also the good things. I want to share this one. This is one of the lecture talking about the understanding true parents as the Messiah, life course as Messiah, true parents, King of King. Today I don't give all lecture. I want to share some table contents and also the one part of lecture, because this lecture is also a long lecture, around maybe 2 hours or 3 hours. Just I focus one table contents and one part, and also further talking about the responsibility of creating female angel. So I want to share this part, and also talking about the father's mission and also talking about the mother's mission. So some part I want to share this today. The True Parents Life Course and Understanding of the Messiah, stage of True Parents Life Course. So first stage, Life Course as the Messiah, 1920 to 1960. And second course, Life Course as the True Parents, 1960 to 2000. And third one, Life Course as King of Kings, 2001 to 2010. Because this lecture was made in 2010, that's why this year was mentioned until 2010. So we could see, but now True Mother is also working and extending, continue and carry on the mission as the True Parents and mission as the King of Kings. That's why we could see this third part, Life Course as King of Kings, from 2001 to 2012, 2020, 2027. And we could see maybe this one until 2040. So first 40 years, second 40 years, third 40 years. Into 2040, True Father will become 120 years and True Mother will be the 97 years. So we could maybe think this providence is going this kind of level. 1920 to 1960 was the life course as the Messiah, and 1960 to 2000 is the life course as True Parents, and then to 2001 and afterward life course as the King of Kings, and to settlement and establishment, the substantial Choniguk and heavenly unified world. So those history there is. From when was True Father was Messiah? Have you thought about this one? From when was True Father was the Messiah? This is also important contents. True Father said, when he was 16 years old in the Easter morning, he went to the mountain and he met Jesus and he received the mission. So from when was True Father the Messiah? He was the Messiah from 16 years old time. There are so many candidates and he was chosen when he was 16 years old. That is not true. True Father was the Messiah since he was born, and even he was planned before he was born as the Messiah. That's why he was born as the Messiah and he was born as the only begotten Son. So we could see Messiah is sent, not chosen. Already God prepared him and Messiah was sent. And also as the direct Son of God, there is only one Messiah and direction of God. Adam, Jesus, and true Father. So Father is actually the third Adam, and Jesus is second Adam, and also Adam. And the self-recognition as Messiah and substantial realization of the Messiah. That's why when we read the Father's word, what the moment of 16 years old, actually that is the official recognition he was the Messiah. But actually his character, his nature, or his role or responsibility himself was already Messiah from his birth. That's why actually this chapter is talking about more detail why and when was true Father was Messiah. So this is just table contents. I don't share deeply today. And C, mission of true Father, the Messiah. Then what is the mission of true Father as the Messiah on this earth? This is really important things. First one, find and proclaim the truth. As the Messiah, he came this world, he have to find the all secret, all truth, all divine principle, all God's word, and to proclaim to the world. This is the Messiah's mission. That's why when we see the Father's life course, early time, after meeting Jesus, continuously, he went through and he focused to find the truth, even through nature, even through prayer, even he went to the spiritual world to deal with the saint and sages, even deal with God and Satan. And finally, got the confirmation and affirmation and proclaim, this is the truth. This is the secret. And most secret is the relationship with God and human beings, is the parent and child relationship. So anyway, during that period and through Father's lifetime, he have to find the truth and have to proclaim. That's why from the early time until they went through Father going to spiritual world, continuously he had shared God's word. He had shared the truth. So we could see his way, because this is one of the important role as the Messiah. And second one, recreate and complete Eve. What was the second mission? He should find the bride. He should find Eve and also recreate and complete Eve. This is also responsibility for true Father. True Father have to meet true Mother and have to recreate and complete Eve. This is from Father to true Mother. True Mother also same. True Mother to true Father, there was the role. So through Father's and Mother's life course, they have to fulfill their mission as the true parents. So I want to share one graph. This is easy things. So you could see. This is the table of true Mother's path to completion. So when we study one by one, also this become the field lecture. Just I want to see the summary. I want to show the summary. So first, when true Mother received the blessing with true Father, that time true Mother's position was the daughter's position. So when true Father and true Mother stayed together, true Mother always stay behind of true Father. So that time was 1960, April 11, and no financially independent, 100% just follow to true Father. So do you recognize that time? Maybe when you met true parents at early time, you could recognize that. And next level, true Mother became the younger sister's position. Always also Mother follow true Father from the behind. So that time, around that period, daughter and true sister's time period, true Mother spent that time. And the next time, through the day of victory of love and Danbury prison, true Mother's position was also moved to the wife's position. Of course, true Mother was wife from the beginning when true Mother received the holy wedding heavenly wedding, but process of completion to the mother also went through this stage. So wife, so that time change of the status to the mother will stand beside of the father. Like this, start of speech tour to the mother also went and take responsibility and take a role to initiate the world tour, several things. And after that, the mother went to become the mother's position, equal position with the father. And next is grandmother position, equal authority, and also queen, oneness with the father. That's why before, the mother also offer and bow to the father, but from 2003, February 6, the mother doesn't bow to the father anymore. Totally oneness with the father. So changing the situation. And 2006, June 13, even to the father and to the mother already stood the God's position and substantial God position. That's why from that day, to the parents doesn't offer the bow to God. So maybe when you join the movement in early time, maybe you recognize to the father also offer the bow to heavenly parents before, right? To the mother offer the bow to the parents. But you could recognize recently to the father and to the mother, they didn't convey to God. That's why even we don't recognize so much, but spiritually, their mother progress and they gain back the fallen Eve's position or original Eve's position, restoring the original Eve's position from the bottom and developing and restoring. And mother went through several conditional situations. That's why father guided and together with the mother, and mother's position was changing through those processing. That's why you could see always mother was following behind the father, stand beside an equal position, equal authority and oneness, and totally substantial God. And the final time after 2010 April 29, the mother totally united with the Father and God and wife of God and the Trinity position. So around 2010, 2011, the parents organized the several holy wedding ceremony, second holy wedding and third holy wedding. When we see those events, we just maybe attended the holy wedding ceremony. The parents did holy ceremony again. The parents did holy ceremony again. But actually, each event, there was providential meanings. And through those providential meanings, the parents' authority was changing and developed. So from the daughter's position and through to the parent position and kings of kings position, really growing up. Anyway, I could not have time today to share the detailed lecture. Maybe next time. Then today I want to share this point. Just a minute. The continuation, the mission of the Father, number 3, complete human beings on earth and in spirit world. As the Messiah, to the parents have to fulfill to complete human beings on earth and in spirit world. This is also a mission to the parents. And number 4, God's liberation, complete freedom and completion through family. Really, to the parents have to liberate God and complete freedom and completion. And number 5, to the father have to do to create female angels and complete the angelic world. So through creating female angelic world, also the parents have to complete the angelic world. So this last part, I want to share more detail. The completion of the angelic world. So through Father mentioning several times about the completion of the angelic world. So 1970, October 19, and also February 27, 2010, through Father share the message how to complete the angelic world. Number one, order of creation and order of perfection. Order of creation, angel, creation, and human beings. Order of perfection, human being, angel, creation. Standard of perfection, making a pair centering on God. And order of dominion, order of perfection, not creation. So when we see the order of creation of God, we could see in the beginning, before creating all things, God had created the angel and angelic world first. That's why when we see the Bible, we could recognize before creating the all things, God is talking. God is talking, not only myself. We are creating, right? You can see the Bible word. God is talking about not I created, we created all things. So already before the creation, before the universe, God created an angelic world first. Then second, God created all things. And finally, God created human beings. So when we see the order of creation, that order was the archangel, creation, and human beings. But when we see the God's plan of ideal of creation, what was the expectation? What was God's plan of order of perfection? That is opposite. God wish all human beings will be perfected first. And second, angelic world. And third is the all things. Then what is the standard of perfection? When we can say this person fulfill to be perfected, this standard of perfection is to make a pair centering on God. This meaning is that they will receive blessing, they will get marriage, then husband and wife come together. This is the standard of perfection. That's why God did not create the female angel in the beginning, because human beings have to fulfill, have to be perfected first and receive the permission from God. And Adam create female angel, and Adam let archangel society to be perfected and also complete their role. So this was the original plan which through Father shared to us. That's why at that moment, if Adam fulfill and to get the marriage with Eve, receive blessing with Eve, and that time Adam tell to God, I'm really grateful to meet Eve and to have received blessing with Eve. But God, I'm really pitiful, I'm really appreciate all archangel, all angel. That's why God, can I create, how can support, how they can become perfect, how they can become wife, how they can have a wife. Then God will say, yeah, now is the time I will give the permission you to create a female angel. Then finally, Adam could create the female angel. And also Father said, after that, if also create the female angel and they get blessing, and Father said, Adam could say, please, there are no more no more servant position. Please, I want to let them to become my younger brother and younger sisters. God, please let them accept and let them, I want to embrace them as my younger brother and younger sister. So finally, they can become also the family Father mentioned. That's why when we see, according to the Father's message 2005, October 7, when nation would be restored, then perfected Adam to the parents could create female angel and to give the blessing to the angelic world. So this is the Father's word. That time Father mentioned about the October 7, 2005. So I translated this one. Originally, the completion of the angelic world. Originally, the blessing of the archangels was only possible when Jesus established the family and reached the standard which heavenly kingdom could begin. It is possible only when Adam and Eve start family, live together as a husband and wife, and establish a kingdom according to God's commandment. God's nation, 12 nations, 3 nations, and 72 nations are settled. And only by going beyond them, the angelic world and women will be created once again. It is possible to create in the days of the past, in the days of our ancestors, the persons who have fallen away. I may let them to be the spouse of the angelic world. Those are the privilege of Reverend Moon. Only then the entire history of God's creation will be finished. As Reverend Sang Hon Lee reports, angels are only countless men, no women. That's why this is the Father's message. So Father is mentioning even some ancestor, some were committed sin and some really against heavenly law. And also Father mentioned that how to create the women's angel. So Father said, women who refused to be blessed until the very end may be made an angel's wife. So Father and Mother try to give the blessing to let them come back to God as the children of God. But maybe someone continuously refused until the last moment. That person maybe or might be the wife of angel. But of course, maybe Father just kind of encouragement or kind of joking them. If you don't receive blessing quickly, you will become the wife of angel. Maybe Father is mentioning like this because he didn't share detail after this word. But several times, Father is mentioning, but important things is Father is talking about the mission of the Messiah. He have to create the female angel and he have to complete the will of God as the authority, as the Messiah. So that's why I'm not sure how God create, how the Father create the female angel. But anyway, the role is the Messiah's and true parents' role is to restore the all human beings, including ancestors. And finally, fulfill, complete the angelic world. So today, just share a little bit different story of the main Tirumada and also the Chonsongyong message. But also sometimes it's also good to learn, right? To share the different story. So Father and Mother, there is the special mission. There is Father's mission. There is also the Mother's mission. There is also their fulfillment through all kind of challenging and overcoming. And finally, to the parents stood as the King of Kings position, totally unite with heavenly parents and Father and Mother. That's why when the Father went to the spiritual world, already that time their position, Father, Mother, God, was totally united and one body, one mind, one will. That's why when we read the Father's message in the last moment of the Father's life, continuously emphasize one mind, one body, one will, and several things. So already the Mother position itself was already united, but how much our members could recognize about Father and Mother and Heavenly Parents. So through Father's cause, Father's mission, through Mother's cause and Mother's mission, we could also recognize what kind of providential process the parents had overcome, and reached in this position now. So now is December and Christmas. Let's find the God's heart, Jesus' heart, and really fulfill behalf of them, share the blessing and really restore our nation, restore our region, restore our world together with our heavenly parents and true parents. So today is the beautiful day, great moment. Let's have a great time. Thank you very much once again. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Reverend Yutaka, for sharing about the spirit world and about how the mission of the Messiah and how they need to create, because we know, I was reflecting on that, we know that we are meant to be co-creators, and as co-creators need to create both physically and spiritually, and very much we focus that to be just ourself. But there's three stages. We have the individual, the family, the world. And on the individual stage, yes, we create ourselves. We create the physical environment, we create our character, and the more that we center on God, the more God-like we become. So on the goal, I believe, on the individual level is to achieve oneness with God. The goal on the family level is to create the pair unity model, so we joining together with each other. And then on the world level, we create the ideal environment in which all things are harmonized. So how we co-create, I mean, it's clearly we are co-creators, because that's the fundamental reason why we have responsibility. If we don't have responsibility, then we're just a resultant being only, and not have any share. But co-creatorship is very complex, and I think as we study principle and read Father's words, we get to understand the depth of it more, because our ignorance is being slowly removed. Sometimes I think we are stubborn in having ignorance removed. We're quite happy. There's that saying, ignorance is bliss. It's easy to let things be taken responsibility by others. So I was reflecting on that. I mean, the depth of what that co-creatorship involves, and yeah. And the other thing was just Reverend Yutaka mentioned about spiritual experience, and I've had actually many times out of body experiences, and I was reflecting on it occurred over stages. Like the first time, and maybe others have experienced similar, like lying down, and I have this heavy weight pushing me down and I can't get up. It's like I'm just sort of stuck and I'm just pushed down, and I could feel this presence. And I remember calling out Father's name, and then that presence go, and then I could get up. And then I had the same experience as Robert, where when I was in Lancaster, Chislehurst in London, Chislehurst is a place that we bought, and it used to be a convent, and there was many cells in which the nuns, and I was sleeping in one of these cells. And then I had the experience of the same as Robert. I got up, and then I realized my spirit got up, my body was still lying there, and I turned around and saw my body. And then I got up again, and the same thing happened. It happened 3 times, the same way as Robert. And then finally I got up, and also after that sort of experience, some weeks later, I ended up speaking to the nun that was that had passed away in that cell, and we had like a conversation for half an hour. But that's another story. But then I saw this progress of how my spirit body started to take a greater form. So first there was, I felt it being pushed, and then I experienced it coming out. And then I started, had the experience of sitting in a chair, looking out the window. And then the next thing I know, everything went golden, and I was in the tree, in the leaves, and everything was golden around me. And then I could start to move, and I wasn't scared of my spirit going out, and I could go further afield and then come back. And then I read Swedenborg more deeply, and saw a whole process that he took in doing spirit astral projection or your spirit moving. I sort of practiced what was in the book, and I had the experience of going even further away and watching other people, and then coming back and then relaying what I saw, and then they would be surprised that that's what happened. And then after a while, I stopped doing it. It became an interesting sort of exercise, and it was sort of very pleasant. Spirit world was actually very pleasant, and I could see how you could get caught up with it and lost in it. And then, reading Father's words, it says, our time now is on the earth. Time for spirit world is coming later. So don't get caught up and lost in that, because you'll go to spirit world before your time. So got to stay grounded. Anyway, that was some experiences I had. I can see Chris has his hand up. Go ahead. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, John. Just some thoughts I had about angels I shared quite a while ago on the Australian WhatsApp. And I think one thing, because of the fall, the angels who have been dedicated to us, just a thought about their life. It's been a long time, and they've remained completely pure and faithful to God's cause. How easy, they're all male, they come and they help beautiful women, how easy it would be for them to do something unprincipled, but they've remained totally dedicated all this time. So that's one point. And then it's not hard thoughts for this morning. These are just my own thoughts, of course, no official word, but it's quite easy to imagine that that word Messiah would be expanded possibly to tribal messiahs. And if you read Life in the World Unseen, it actually documents the process of creation in the spirit world, where people perceive what God's will is. Somebody needs something, a flower or something, and they gather around and they project that image, and the more they project into it, it goes through stages of development. So it's not hard to imagine how it happens. Whether that's correct or not, I don't know, but you could imagine if that was the process, then how, as a tribal messiah, and this relates to the other thing you said, John, that we don't really realize who we are. We don't really realize our value. So, the Bible actually says, not many people hear these words, but there's a verse in the Bible that says the angels are talking to someone and they say, "Do you not know that you are God's?" So my point is that you could easily imagine that a section of the angelic world dedicated to you eternally, and a tribal messiah being instrumental, and maybe the whole tribe creating female angels to them, how grateful they would be and how dedicated, that would really be something. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, it sort of opens up a can of worms when you start talking about the angels and all these things. Of course, angels are spiritual beings, and they are eternal, unlike animals. And so, and also angels have sexual desire and male parts. So obviously those things have to become to be, I don't say you were utilized, but somehow there needs to be some kind of completion in the angels. I think Father mentioned one time that like Lucifer was a brother, something like that. Maybe Reverend Yamada's got some more homework now. But anyway, but the other point I sort of want to make is that it's all to do with growth of heart and growth of parental heart, because even God didn't have a parental heart, perhaps, when he created Adam and Eve. And so his experience at raising up us, he would develop that parental heart and empathy. And the same with the angels, by helping to raise us up, they would, in a sense, stand as our parents to give us guidance, So through this experience, they could be able to develop this kind of heart of a parent. So, so it's all through us somehow the creation is going to come to completion, through developing this parental heart, all of us together. So, anyway, just a few thoughts about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. And Jacinta, go ahead. And then after Jacinta, Doug. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking yesterday, wondering about how Jesus is feeling right now. And I am wondering whether, because of his position as the original Messiah, the original Adam, sometimes he has to kind of pass on all of his followers to Father. And I thought, that's a real hard thing to do, because you love your followers so much, and that beautiful tradition of worshiping, that kind of thing, that he might have had that sort of angelic feeling sometimes coming to him. Oh, why should I give all my parishioners to Reverend Moon? Because, he's my little brother, but, they're also kind of, I can imagine him thinking, oh, my followers are so much more advanced and more glorious or whatever. And this measly group of unificationists, like, can we trust them? I feel like, that's a kind of angelic feeling too, that we have to kind of, everybody goes through that. If you're a very clever or intelligent person, and then you suddenly have to trust some newbie that comes, some new kid on the block comes and takes over your mission or something, you think, oh my gosh, how are they going to do it? They haven't got the qualifications that I have. And anyway, it just suddenly occurred to me yesterday, I hope Jesus is coping with this, our inability to come up to historical standards sometimes. And but anyway, in some cases we've gone beyond them, so that's really good to think about. Anyway,
Yeah. Thank you, Jacinta. Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, I had two experiences that affirmed my experience with the spirit world, and I think it's more universal than we tend to know. With children under the age of 7 years of age, they have some education from God to explain about we have two spiritual bodies. With myself, it came to me the first time with I would be awake but still sleeping, like dozing, and I would leave my body. It happened for me in an apartment where we lived in New York. So I would leave my body, rise up over the bed, look at my body, and then go around and find each one of my family members inside the apartment. So one was making toast, one was maybe putting their shoes and socks on, two others were talking somewhere. But this happened repeatedly to me because I used to have that dream, what I thought it was a dream, but I was actually leaving my body. And then I would jump up when the body came back into, when my spirit came back into my body, I would jump up and go check to see what everyone is doing, and if I was correct, and I was. So I knew then that I was leaving my body and it wasn't just a dream. And then to affirm it, when I was in 10th grade, there was someone in 12th grade who was graduating. He was the smartest person in the high school, you know? So I didn't study that much, but I used to love studying for exams because I procrastinate. And so I asked him for his math notes so that I could take my final year exam, Regents. And inside the math book was a secret ledger, you know? And it was all about him practicing leaving his body. And I was so stunned by this. It was life-changing because as an older person, no one ever talked about this. And here was this smart kid. So he would practice leaving his body, go to his friend, Randall Murphy would go visit Ronald Parchman. They would have a conversation about sports, you know. He would come back into his body and he would write down the entirety of the conversation. And then at the bus stop the next day, he'd say, did you have any dream? And he said, yeah, I had a dream. We were talking about sports and this whole thing. And then he would show him the paper, you know? So it's like these kind of proofs. But the main point is that God gives us these experiences. I think I found Carlos had the same kind of thing up until around 7 years of age. So.
Oh, Carlos had this, he left his body and he was around where the dog was sleeping. And then he saw the dog's dream and the dog was down in the park playing with these other dogs. So it was really quite cute. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a couple of people with their hands up. Yeah, first Randall and then Margaret. Go ahead, Randall.
Thank you. I was wondering from Reverend Yutaka, if you could find the link of that speech from 2005, October 7, was it? Because I can't find anything in my sources. But basically, my understanding of the interaction with spirit world is many times things occur to us and we just, you know, shrug it off as something occurred to us, and we don't realize that we were prepared in a way for the spirit world to connect with us so that that occurs to us, or this intuitive feeling or this other type of things that come along. For example, how did man invent flight? And the thing was, we didn't invent it. All the natural laws were already there and we just had to occur, you know. Oh, right. Well, this is how, when we look at a bird's wing, it's, you know, higher in the bottom and flat underneath. And that's the way that the Aboriginals made the boomerang. And a lot of the breakthroughs in flight didn't come until after the boomerang was introduced to the world. And then they thought, oh, how about we shape the wing this way, you know, similar to the Australian boomerang or something like this, or the propeller as well. And I don't know how much the Australian Aboriginals, you know, helped Wilbur and Orville Wright to make the first plane, for example. So things occur to us, and it's a bit like, you know, the way that spirit world is connecting. So to, you know, come up with the female angels, I don't know if Father it can actually do that, because, you know, this is the way that we say in divine principle. If it's just a male, he can't create female. But at that time, it's true parents, maybe. So I'm wondering if, like 2005, Father said this about, you know, Father making, but then 2006, that's when True Mother was raised up here, you know, at a different level. And so it'd be interesting to see, you know, a lot more of that, because that's when the King of Kings level came up with True Mother. Anyway, I'll let Margaret speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, Margaret. Unmute yourself, please.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Yamada, for that wonderful work you did this morning. To be able to read in Father's words in Korean and translate them to us is really precious. And I really appreciate that. It really made me feel how Father and Mother always had a plan and that meticulous work to accomplish that plan I gave a good view of what we have to do. And number two, I wanted to share my feeling of Jesus as well, is that I was reflecting this Christmas how to create a card that will bring Jesus from the suffering Jesus to a resurrected Jesus who has been blessed and also has become crowned in 2003 to become King of Kings. And as I'm reflecting and trying to create this new card for this Christmas, I realized that I have to change my concept of Jesus. Have to grow in my own understanding that Jesus has been elevated to a different level since true Father and true Mother have come to earth. Therefore, Christians cannot relate to this new level of Jesus. I am responsible to share with Christians about where Jesus is at. And so far, so many Christians I talk to just relate to the Lamb of God, you know, the martyred person, and not even resurrected Jesus. Have no idea that the victory of Jesus was his resurrection. So I think this is something to attract Christians, especially in the ministers level, to really understand the divine principle is so crucial for understanding who Jesus is.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, everyone. It's actually, we're past our time. It's time for us to offer our unison prayer, and we certainly have lots of things we can pray about. So I'll just share the screen and let's begin. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day, and see you tomorrow.
Heaven's blessings, everyone.
See you later.